Okay, today on Cabal Cast, we are back in. Actually, we're not back in Command & Conquer 3 games, right? This is Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars, doing a 1 versus 1 video commentary. Now, this game has been on the popular replays tab for about a month and a half now, but I just got to it today because I've been focused on my holiday VODs and a bunch of VODs from Kane's Wrath. I'll try to bring some other games too, like I've been playing a lot of Overwatch, and I just haven't been streaming all that much, and I'll try to bring some Ruler 3 content as well. But this game here, it's between Shocktapus and Shoktrepet. So Shocktapus is obviously Shoktrepet, everybody knows that. And Shoktrepet, also a CNC3 veteran. Random versus GDI on the map Tournament Coastline. So this is the bottom right here. We see this is Shoktrepet, I do believe. Yep, Shoktrepet. He's playing as the Cyan GDI Vanilla. And up here is Shocktreatment. He is playing as the pink Vanilla Nod because there's no such thing as sub-factions in Tiberium Wars. Shocktreatment is going to go for a hand of Nod. He's not building an engineer out of it right now. It looks like he just wants to... Oh, he's going for shadow teams. That's why he's going for a shadow team rush. We are going to be seeing a couple of them coming out right now. And he's probably going to build a couple more shadow teams, I do believe. Yep, there's going to be another one he's going to build out the barracks. He's going to build another one, probably 5, and then maybe sell off the secret shrine for equivalent of 5. So we see 4 of them right now. Unless he's going to shell that up. Yep, he's going to have 5 shadow teams, build a refinery. In the meantime, Shoktrepet is going to go for a surveyor, and he's going to go to this green field right here. This will give him a nice econ advantage. 5 shadow teams is enough to take out a refinery if nobody knew. Shoktrepet went for 2 refineries and sold one of them off to get a harvester. So that's another trick you can do. You don't have to go for fast vehicles on this map like you do in Kane's Wrath. You can do a bunch of stuff in Tiberium Wars that a lot of people I don't know about, but this game has been out for so long that everybody should know all the strategies in this game. So these shadow teams are going to be coming towards Shocktreatment space, or Shoktrepet. Both these players are like exactly the same. Another refinery has been placed down by Shoktrepet, and Shocktreatment is going to be going in and landing his shadow teams to take out that refinery. I don't think... oh, he's going to turn around. I think he might know that Shoktrepet has an expansion here. That he could definitely take out the war factory. Then the build radius here from Shoktrepet will be definitely be taken out. A couple of APC engineers is going to come out for Shoktrepet. I don't think he's going to be realizing that there's shadow teams here, and the shadow teams are going to be definitely taking out the war factory. APC can't detect stealth, and there goes the war factory. So now Shoktrepet knows that there's a bunch of shadow teams that he needs to hurry up and get another refinery out. Or not a refinery, but another harvester. Jesus Christ. A war factory, and playing a base defenses to take out those shadow teams. But he's also going to have a nice economy advantage because he built 2 APC engineers, and he's going to go after the 2 tip spikes on this map. Which, in the meantime, Shocktreatment, he has 2 refineries, and he built a war factory as well. The shadow teams are going to be coming right here, and I think Shoktrepet doesn't know where they are at the moment. He definitely has a Hippo now to detect the stealth. And the shadow teams are going to be attacking the war factory. All the bombs are going to go off, or maybe not. Oh yeah, they do go off. It was delayed big time. So I guess all the members of the shadow teams, I think, are not here. Yeah, 4 of them are still alive, so 1 of them went down. But as long as 1 member of the squad remains, the bombs are still the same. So now Shoktrepet has 3 refineries now, and he just rebuilt his war factory, so he's a little bit behind. But so is Shocktreatment, even though he went for those 5 shadow teams. And he expanded with his MCV to the south here, where he's going to be placing up another expansion. And a crane now coming up from Shocktreatment. So this is going to be inducing his build order that much. And we see 5 and... Oh no, that's just 4 and 2 on his main field. So he needs another one to make a perfect ratio. And he has 4 bikes stationed on his main field, just for protection of any kind of rush. And a crane now from Shoktrepet. So both these players are going to be going for some huge amounts of economy. Why wouldn't you? Because Tiberium Wars has you need a lot of economy to build a lot of forces. So now 3 harvesters in this field for Shocktreatment, and he could probably move his construction if he wants to, and not before he places on another power plant. And that crane looks like he's building another refinery. Refineries are $2,000 in Tiberium Wars instead of $3,000 in Kane's Wrath. Now Shoktrepet is going to be garrisoning up these structures here so that he can have a nice increase of vision so he can see what Shocktreatment is going to be placing on this field right here. But Shocktreatment has a garrison building himself, and a couple of APCs and rocket squads are going to be taking out those buildings there. Hopefully he can take out the rifleman squad that's in that, or the Milton squad that's in that building, so that he can't get to this one here. And it looks like the Milton squad will definitely go down. Small contingent of Tier 1 forces here coming up from Shoktrepet. Mostly considered missile squads and a couple of APCs, but I don't think they're going to do a whole lot. Oh, there's a couple more Pipples here coming up from Shoktrepet, so he's going to hold Shockman just a little bit before he needs to expand again. Tier 2 structure operations center coming down now from shock treatment, and we see the shadow teams now taking on another power plant. Those not the veteran ones. I guess you need 2 veterans to destroy a power plant in Kane's Wrath. I guess not in Tiberium Wars. And now Shoktrepet is going to be going for another refinery at his expansion base. And now a small attack here. We see mostly just Tier 1 infantry, but the shredder turrets now are going to be causing big problems now with those missile squads. Especially since they don't have those composite armor, which composite armor would be very, very good against these shredder turrets. But it looks like Shoktrepet is not going to do a whole lot of damage to shock treatment. It's just going to be holding him in his base for just a little bit longer. And his missile squads are going to get crushed by the Scorpion tanks. And now going to the base now, we see a... Oh my god, he captured the War Factory! Oh, I did not say that. APC Engineer captured the War Factory. And now Shock Treatment is forced to sell off one of his operations to destroy that War Factory. Oh, that's good, actually. Too bad he can't destroy the Black Hound Squad. He was forced to sell off that Watchtower because he couldn't support it. It was too much power. But now the War Factory is speaking out some bikes now. These bikes are doing good amount of damage. He's causing Shock Treatment a little bit of problems. That AP Watchtower, called an AP Ammo Watchtower, but there's no AP Ammo. The Watchtower is going to be attacking the Black Hound squads, and they will take them out now. Scorpion tanks are coming out from Shoktrepet, and this is good. This is a great attack here by Shoktrepet. Can they capture the War Factory is going to be delaying a Shock Treatment, but now a couple of 2 War Factories now coming out from Shock Treatment, and he does have the Dozer Blades, so that's going to be pretty good. Now Obelisk of Light now, so Tier 3, and oh no, another War Factory. So it's going to be double War Factory, but Shock Treatment has the advantage because this is his home base, and he can just place down Obelisk defenses as he wants to. I'm not even sure if Shoktrepet is at Tier 3 yet. I don't know if he's at Tier 2. Nobody's on Tier 2 yet. So this could be the end of this attack here. Yep, Shoktrepet just sells off all his structures. That was actually a pretty good attack. Kept Shock Treatment in his base for quite a while. Now he's going to be spending with his MCV unprotected, but his Scorpion tanks now are going to be coming in now and defending that MCV. Shoktrepet, on the other hand, he spent all that money on those forces and that attack, and then he doesn't have anything at his expansion to defend. He just has to pump out those barracks and garrison those structures with rocket squads just to protect against the laser scorps that are coming out towards his base now, and that's not very good. This entire base has been either sold off, and a couple of structures I remember from those shadow teams destroyed a bunch of buildings. But these Scorpion tanks are going to be going around the backside of Shoktrepet's base, and this is going to cause Shock Treatment to go eco-heavy on this 3rd expansion, because both of his main and his first expansion are going to be completely mined out. The Scorpion tanks are being going around the back now, and I don't think they're just going to avoid this area because I think Shock Treatment knows that Shoktrepet is just going to go for a bunch of infantry with composite armor, and he's calling in some Jedi Airborne, so that's very nice. You might as well destroy this force right here because these Scorpion tanks are probably going to be destroyed. I think Shock Treatment knows that as well, just causing as much damage as possibly can with the Scorpion tanks, and then maybe going to hardcore infantry himself. Either that or just spam a bunch of Venoms, and Venoms will also be pretty good. Now there's one more power plant remaining. I think Shock Treatment is just trying to force these rocket squads out of the front lines, and keep him as far away from his base as possible with these rocket squads. Or missile squads, because he's building a lot of them, and he's just 2 barracks. He doesn't have a War Factory. He's not even at Tier 2 yet. He's at Tier 1.5 with his armory, so he could build some sniper teams, but sniper teams wouldn't do anything against these Scorpion tanks. Absolutely nothing. And now because Shock Treatment has distracted Shoktrepet a little bit, he's got his economy back up in order. His Tier 2 is back up now. He's got a chemical plant, so he's going to be dropping some 1-clicks now. And I can see a Callus missile coming in from right here, and the Callus missile in Tiberium Wars is going to be like huge. Here comes a Callus missile, and will it capture 3 power plants? It will, because the radius is stupidly huge. And now stealth tanks are coming off from Shock Treatment, and they do take out 2 harvesters, so that's very good. But there's like 6 of them here, so I guess Shoktrepet is not too fussed about losing too many harvesters. Although he did lose quite a number of these refineries, so that's not very good. Now he's back to square one. He's keeping his armory, so he's keeping his armory because he might as well do so. And now a single Black Hound squad from Shock Treatment is going to be getting in the garrison structure, and might as well barbecue as many forces as it possibly can. But Shoktrepet has armory, has a composite armor, so that's going to be helping out his rocket squads even more. And I think Shock Treatment is not prepared for this. He has to go into hardcore Venoms, like I said, and hardcore Venoms with the lasers will do okay damage, but he needs to spread them out. He needs to get as many Venoms as he possibly can, because with this amount of rocket squads with the composite armor is just way too much. And he lost a lot of Venoms here, but there's still quite a bit of rocket squads here. And then he gets Shoktrepet is just going to be going into force him to go to hardcore missile squads. And the benefit about this is that he can spam as many stuff as he wants, and he can build foxholes as well inside the Tiberium field just to camp out, so Shock Treatment can't do a whole lot of stuff about it. And that was my phone again. And the shorter turns don't do a whole lot of damage to missile squads when they have those composite armor. And now, oh my god, that was a nice mind strike there by Shock Treatment, taking out a bunch of infantry. But at the same time, somehow his harvesters are being unstealth. Maybe throwing down a scan or something. But now, since Shock Treatment has to deal with his infantry forces, Tib Vapor Bomb completely missed all the stuff, and this cloaking field took out a bunch of infantry as well. And now a lot of selling of the base defenses and Tiberium silos from Shoktrepet. He's going to go towards the top half of the map now to attack a couple of power plants and a refinery now. From Shock Treatment, Shoktrepet, same thing. But this caused a lot of harvesters to be destroyed, and Shock Treatment has to go back to his roots and see what he can do. He has to go into hardcore Venom again, because this infantry force is coming back towards his base now, putting his force into suppression fire, which is good. And another Black Hand squad has to be built now. Forced to build a couple more foxholes, and that is going to be pretty good as well. He needs to focus on the Black Hat squad so they don't barbecue his missile squads, and that's going to be causing Shock Treatment again to just build a lot more shorter turns. He needs to, and then one thing he can do is use his harvesters to crush, and that's exactly what he needs to do. His Venoms are attacking the Venoms, which is good, and then the harvesters are going to be doing all the crushing, and this is fantastic. This is exactly what he needed. Those harvesters are doing absolutely horrendous amount of damage, and Shoktrepet is forced to retreat back to his base. In the meantime, he base creeped to this side of the Tiberium field here, and he's placing out a lot of refineries. That's quite a bit of an overkill, if you ask me, and a crane as well. So hardcore building here coming up from Shoktrepet, and he placed down his tier 2 finally after how many minutes in this game? I don't know, maybe 10-15 minutes or something. Finally placed down his tier 2 structure, and maybe tier 3 is going to be following soon after. Could be going for some juggernauts. I'd love to see some juggernauts and mammoth tanks versus this here, because Shock Treatment is prepared to face infantry, but not a whole bunch of tanks. But at the same time, Shock Treatment can just go in and scout the base and find out he's going at tier 3, so he could be going for some juggernauts and mammoth tanks, and he can just use his Venoms. Venoms is a great early game to mid game scout, but he's just going into hardcore missile squads now. And that was my phone again, so I do apologize, but that was, yeah. I keep forgetting to shut off my phone every time I do a video commentary. So now Shoktrepet is going to be coming in with his infantry, and this could definitely be the final blow if Shock Treatment can't hold this off. He has quite a bit of Venoms, and they're going to be attacking the infantry squads as well. But while the infantry is focused on the shorter turns, these Venoms are going to be focused on the infantry squads as well. With this amount of economy, Shoktrepet is able to a lot of infantry forces coming around here. And we see quite a bit of rocket squads, missile squads going down just a little bit, but now Shock Treatment has all his harvesters just backed off the line because he can't harvest with this amount of rocket squads. It's just too much. And we see a carry-all here with an engineer, so that's like that Tiberium spike is under the control of Shock Treatment, and that's exactly what he needs. There's a lot of missile squads coming out here, and Shock Treatment doesn't have a whole lot of forces to deal with this. Now, since Shoktrepet has mined out his third expansion or his second expansion, or one of the two, he has to force to go into Shock Treatment's expansion and gather some Tiberium. Shock Treatment is a little bit low on economy, I think. He had to force his harvesters to go to the second expansion to gather up some Tiberium because he can't harvest from this field right here. And it looks like Shock Treatment is going to be he's in trouble. I would assume so. He has to sell his power plants. His avatars are going to do absolutely nothing, and he XSplit just a little bit. Looks like he was expecting a mine drop or something. That carry-all is going back off map now, and those Venoms are coming in. Those rocket squads are going to be attacking those Venoms and pushing them back A lot of them get destroyed, and never-ending line of reinforcements coming in from Shoktrepet. This could be GG for Shoktrepet. I don't know what else he can do. He can go base defenses, but he needs to build like a ton of them. And a Black Hand coming out now from that sold-off refinery or operation center. And now that construction is being destroyed, I don't know how Shock Treatment can defend this. I don't think he has a war factory. No, he doesn't. So that MCB goes down. That's it for Shock Treatment. He has only one production structure left, which is that air tower, and that air tower has relatively weak armor. Now these Venoms are going to be coming up for the final death blow. There's way too much infantry. Shock Treatment is definitely going to be destroyed. I don't know how he can come back from this. That last air tower, way too much. Mine's coming in. They do a lot of damage, but unfortunately not enough. As Shocktapus has been defeated. Good game. Showing us the power of GDI infantry. So unit scrapped, it was all Shoktrepet because of those infantry squads. Structures, it was all Shoktrepet. Resources, it was pretty even, and then Shock Treatment, it took a little bit there, but then Shoktrepet got the most economy stats. 134,141 to Shocktapus and 172,815 to Shoktrepet. So how much is that? That's another $44,000 more for Shoktrepet than Shocktapus. Alright, so there's your game on Tiberium Wars. My name's Cabal, and I'll see you guys all next time.